Hello everybody, this is Mr. Rob and welcome back to another episode of the South Carolina Gamecocks Dynasty here on EA Sports College Football 25, where South Carolina, now 8-2 on the season, ranked in the 13th spot, are playing their biggest game to date on the road against the 15th ranked 7-3 Texas Longhorns. I know I said the same thing last week against Tennessee, but that's how this season is going. Every game is the biggest game. And we're underway for another one here in Austin. And if you're excited for this one, make sure you drop a like and you subscribe down below, especially if you want more Dynasty Mode content. As now we're playing the Burnt Orange Longhorns today, led by senior quarterback Fabian Clemens, who've disappointed a little bit again this season. But this should be a tough task for South Carolina. With the win today, will put them one step closer to the SEC Championship game. The Longhorns do start off the football. It's a 2-yard run right into the arms of John Telfort, the linebacker. Bringing it to 2nd and 8. Clements on a deep ball will be incomplete. Good defense on the deep ball. We've seen South Carolina struggle with that this year. It's good to see them not give it up there. 3rd and 8, a man open in the second level. This is the tight end Alex Bonahan, who's been one of the better tight ends in college football this season. That's a gain of 37, and Texas will hurry back to the line. Clements back to the air, will look short. This one caught for a gain of 5. As you can see, that was George Costello, who is a record breaker at Texas this season. More on that in a little bit. Nice first down grab here at the marker. That's Javier Saldiveri, who has 676 yards and 6 touchdowns coming into this one. He gets the first down at the 25. Clements wants it all, and this one's incomplete. Good defense by Devon Davis. Back to empty here, 2nd and 10. Clements again wants the deep ball, and again it's incomplete. South Carolina doing a good job defending the deep ball against these talented receivers. As it's now 3rd and 10, Texas will check this one down short, and that'll be 3 points for the Longhorns, which will bring out the Gamecock offense for the first time, led by junior quarterback Afia Kilgo. They got a hands full with this Texas pass rush today, who is missing, though, a key piece in Fano Natu. But on the first play, it looks like we're going to be going backwards. Left guard Amada Jacobson gets called for the holding. So instead of 1st and 10, it'll be 1st and 20. Kilgo in the backfield, rolls to his right quickly, keeps his eyes downfield, just checks it down for Dora, and that's actually going to lose one. Joel Kimball, the Austin native, with the tackle. 2nd and 21 now, a roaring cloud here in Austin, Texas, as here's a short pass for Benshaw, and that doesn't work out either. Legend Burr makes that tackle, and it's quickly 3rd and 22. Kilgo rolls to his right, pressure in his face, just throws it into the ground. That's a 3-and-out for South Carolina because we're so backed up. Gives Texas good field position already in our territory, as there's a second grab by Javier Saldiveri. 3rd and 3, here's a handoff. Quincy Bighill, who hasn't gotten a lot going recently. Only 2 carries, 4 yards to start today, and it's 4th and inches. And Texas is going to go for it. Getting aggressive early, and it doesn't work. South Carolina ready for the run. They put him in the backfield, and that's a big turnover on downs as it gives South Carolina some life. They pushed it to the 33 of Texas now, as here's a 6-yard strike to Gallegos. 2nd and 4, Dora up the middle will gain 2. He has 3 for 10, and it's quickly 3rd down. They go to the air. Trust Gallegos with the grab, who makes the adjustment. It's not the best throw, but he makes the first down grab. Gamecocks into the red zone. Handoff for Dora up the middle. Gains 2 before running into a wall of Longhorns. 2nd and 8. Back to the air. Kilgo wants it all, but it's deflected down. Nice defense by Andres Bajima. Now it's 3rd and 8. Kilgo back to the air. Rolls to his left, and he's going to tuck in and run. And Kilgo will get the first down. Pushed out of bounds at the 6. Nice 12-yard run. And this is where he gets his most dangerous, in the red zone. Goal to go. He hands it off to Dora, but he'll punch it in himself. And that's a touchdown for the Gamecocks, who lead now 7-3. So a good drive for South Carolina off of that failure to convert on 4th down. And quickly, next drive for Texas faces a 3rd and 5. They want the deep ball, but it's deflected down. Again, good defense deep. That'll send us to into the first, where South Carolina leads 7-3, and they have the football to begin the frame. As we've done a good job offensively off of the opportunity. And then on defense, doing a good job at stopping the passing game from getting going on the deep ball. And we've only allowed 2 rushing yards. We begin the second quarter at midfield, where the Gamecocks sit in the pistol. It's a screen out wide for Pat Cameron. And he's going to have a nice catch and run here. Pushed out of bounds to the 36. 2 catches, 32 for him today, who's really broken out this season. First and 10 now. Kilgo, quick throw, finds short. This is Thomas Bono, the tight end, with a gain of 8. Second and 2 now, as you can see the quarterback numbers. They go right back to Bono on second and 2. He has a wide open up the seam. And he gets to the 10. His goal to go again. Kilgo stays in the air, looks short. Here's Cameron again, and he'll get it down to the 4-yard line. Kilgo 12 for 14 for 97 yards. Second and goal, a touch pass to Ben Shaw, who will not get there. Marked down at 2, and now a big third and goal. Kilgo gives it off to Dora, who cuts it back and finds the end zone. What vision out of Sonny Dora there, not known for his work between the tackles. But we've seen him get better throughout the season, running in between the linemen. That was a great vision touchdown there. 14-3 now, South Carolina, who built quite a lead for themselves early on in this one. Texas offense just slow to get going, as now they're starting to push the pace. After a 4-yard completion, they go no huddle. Second and 6, Clements looks short, has a man. This is Castillo, who's actually broken the record this season for most touchdowns in a season, most career touchdowns as a Longhorn receiver, and most touchdowns in a singular game. He is having quite a season for the Texas Longhorns. Second and 3 now. It's going to be a quick pass, delayed pass. This one's broken up. That was very convoluted there. As it's now 3rd and 3. Clements goes empty again. He wants it left side, but it's knocked away by Nate McCaleb. And that's another punt. Good defense today. We've had our secondary get hands on a lot of footballs. As 1st and 10, Todia doesn't go anywhere. He runs into big number 99. 3rd and 3 now for South Carolina. Kilgo feeling the pressure, just dumps it away. So they'll punt it back to the Longhorns. They now face 2nd and 5 here. 4 minutes to go in the first half. Run outside for Mike Curtin, the Houston transfer, who actually started his career at Kansas State. 3rd and 6 now for Texas. Clements to the air, feels some pressure, hit as he throws, incomplete. And that'll be another punt for Texas. And that'll take us to the 2-minute warning. Remember, South Carolina does get the football at half, too. They're at the 43 of Texas right now. Kilgo throws it away on 1st down after 4 seconds run off. 2nd and 10 now. Quick fire across the middle. Here's Deacon Hajrulahu with a great spin. Puts the football on the ground, though, and it's picked up by Texas. A fumble for Hajrulahu. Or was it? South Carolina will challenge, and on second look, his knee, I think, might have been down right there. It looks like the ball is secure. So we do win the challenge. A big disaster avoided there. So South Carolina will keep the football here. Here's a nice throw to Bono up the middle. And now we're inside the 20 again, about 90 seconds, and we'll start to drain some clock here. Inside a minute, Kilgo on 1st down will roll to his left, and he'll lob this one left side where he's intercepted. Picked off by Legend Burr, his 3rd of the season. Not a good throw by Kilgo. He put way too much air underneath that one. If he hits him in the numbers, that could have been a 1st down. Instead, it's an interception, and that'll bring it into the first half for South Carolina. Leads 14-3 again. For the 3rd straight week, the defense really showing out today. They've given up a lot of passing yards, but they've stopped the run, and they've been very good on 3rd down plays. But the Gamecocks lead this one 14-3 with the footballs. They'll start the second half at their own 25 as they'll hand it off to Dora, who gains 3. 50 yards running today for Dora with a pair of touchdowns. A good day for the senior. 2nd and 7. Here's a screen out wide for Ben Shaw, who makes a nice spin move, juking Isaiah Alexander out of his shorts. 3 catches, 19 yards for the sophomore. Next play is going to be a carry to Dora. Again, good vision to find the cutback lane. He picks up 4. 2nd and 6, screen out wide for Cameron, and Pat Cameron will get close to the marker. Good job by Texas to fight off the blocks. But on 3rd and inches, they'll get the 1st down with Sonny Dora, and this drive stays alive. Also draining a lot of clock, by the way, as we're coming up on 11 minutes. 1st and 10 handoff for Dora, gains 4, just continuing to whittle away. The crowd's starting to get loud as we get into Texas territory. 2nd and 6, quick pass for Bono. That's going to be a 1st down again. Out to the 31. Kilgo 20 for 25 on 171 yards. 1st and 10, screen for Cameron. Gets a block, and the Vincent Valley High School native will get another 1st down, and we're in the red zone. From the 19, this play is not really going to go anywhere. It's a gain of 1. Now it's 2nd and 9. They go back to the ground with Dora. Tries to cut it back, but he runs into his own lineman, and he's put down by Thomas Hagman and company. Theo Fulcolt there, and it's now 3rd and 9. Bring a man in motion. Kilgo goes to the air. Rolls to his right. Fires as a man in his Gallegos who lays out for it. What a grab by the junior wide receiver. Makes a goal to go from the 1. Kilgo will keep it, and he will punch it in for a touchdown. I said this is where Kilgo gets his most dangerous. and he does it again, putting it on the ground with his legs. South Carolina now leads 21-3. It's a 3-score game here in Austin, Texas, and the crowd has gone absolutely silent. First down play for the Longhorns goes nowhere. Nice run defense there. It's been like that all day. They hurry back to the line. They run an option, and Cottrell's not fooled on the fake pitch. Good job by Caleb Cottrell to put him down. It's quickly 3rd and 12. Quickly going backwards. They set up a screen for Curtin. He's got it, and Curtin will get the first down. Good running, and that was a clutch first down for the Longhorns. You couldn't afford a 3-and-out to begin the second half. Back to Curtin here on the first down play. He gains 6. Makes it now 2nd and 4. Trips to the right. It's a delayed give, who finds some space and actually picks up a first down. Good job by Curtin to make lemonade out of lemons. 1st and 10 to go back to him. Definitely getting his carries here as he gains 4. As Texas continues to push the pace, going no huddle. This time a screen out left. This is Richard Gallup. We haven't called his name today, but he's arguably one of the best wide receivers on this team. He's got 3 catches, 29 yards. 3rd and 2 up the middle. It's stuffed. South Carolina ready for the run. They sell out, and it works. Punted away from Texas as South Carolina will get it back. Here they are, 2nd and 5. Kilgo goes play fake, but doesn't fool the defense. He throws it out of bounds. So now 3rd and 5 for the Gamecocks. Kilgo back to the air. Looks, just checks it short for Dora. This will be a caught, but it'll be short of the marker, and that'll take us to the end of the 3rd quarter. South Carolina leads 21-3 as Bevo looks on, not impressed. The Gamecocks, 13th ranked team in the country, with a chance to move up a little bit with the win here today and get one step closer to Atlanta. 2nd and 7 to begin the 4th quarter for Texas. They want the deep ball, but again it's incomplete. Frank Kennedy, the IMG Academy native, has been very good at the long ball defense today. The whole team actually has. 3rd and 7, though. A screen to Quincy Bighill will get it as he gets out of bounds. 1st and 10 now from the 34. Clements to the air. Finds pressure in his face, and he goes down. That's Ty Pettis, the former 5-star recruit and freshman, gets his first sack. It's actually the first sack for the Gamecocks. Now 3rd and 10. Cottrell will bring him down, and they got back-to-back sacks, making it 4th and 19 for the Texas offense, and they have to go for it. You can see the secondary playing very soft here. They don't want to give up anything deep like they haven't all day. Clements off his back foot launches it to the end zone one-on-one, but Davis will swat it out of bounds. And that will be a turnover on downs as South Carolina firmly in the driver's seat here. But they go 3rd and 7 as short of the marker to gain. And they'll try a 54-yard field goal for Justice Doman, who kicks it. Has the accuracy, but is just shy. Doman's been very accurate this year. He just doesn't have the most strongest leg yet, but I think he'll step into that one. 7:45 to go here in the game at the 30 of South Carolina. Texas has driven down the field, but this one's thrown out of bounds as Clements takes another hit from Ty Pettis. Now they go to the ground with Quincy Bighill, and there's nothing there. Bighill has had nothing all day. Look at this. He has 9 carries, 5 yards. Last week he had 7 carries, 6 yards. He has 11 carries in 2 games. Now he'll find a little bit here as he goes up the middle. It's actually not even Clements. That's Nick Escobar. And that was 4th down. 4th and 4. You got to go for it. You got to get it. Clements feeling the pressure. Eats a sack from Everett. You got to throw that one somewhere. And that will be the dagger. South Carolina wins it 21-3. This team looks special right now. The defense is playing the best I have ever seen ever since they got slaughtered against Arkansas. I don't know what Coach Rob said to them, but it definitely kicked them into another gear as we come away with another victory. An impressive one, too, on the road. We got it done against a talented team on the road, and now we are one step closer to potentially going to our first conference championship in 21 years. But there's still some stuff that has to happen. We'll talk more about that in a little bit. But a good win here for the Gamecocks. They did make the one interception mistake, but other than that, the offense played well, and the defense played spectacular. We do get a player of the week. It's Andy Everett, who gets National Player of the Week. And honestly, I did not know this until I checked. Andy Everett is in the Heisman Trophy candidate. He is having an insane season, by the way. Here are your top stories coming out of week number 13. Oregon beats Washington in the battle of top 3 teams. And then we got the Heroes game this week between Iowa and Nebraska. As far as the scores in week 13, Clemson goes down to Houston in a rare non-conference game this late in the season. Well, Clemson's not going to be very happy when they play us next week. Syracuse beats Notre Dame. It has not been a good ACC debut for the Fighting Irish. And South Alabama beats Georgia State. Cincinnati takes care of Kansas. And then we get back to the MAC, where Miami, Ohio beats the rival in Ball State. Oregon State continues to be regular season merchants, destroying Boise State this week. North Texas wins a close one against Tulsa. Then we see Baylor up to number 4 now as they beat Arkansas State. UCLA knocks off Maryland. Southern Miss with a Sun Belt victory over Georgia Southern. And Iowa, before their big matchup against their rivals Nebraska, they'll beat Rutgers. Stanford up to number 2 now. They sit 11-0, finally getting the respect they deserve as they beat Virginia. UCF beats TCU on the road, and then Wyoming dominates Nevada. We see Charlotte over East Carolina. It's been a down year for Charlotte after going to the playoff last year. NC State, who's number 3, by the way, who has 2 losses, who we beat, still ahead of us, by the way. I will not stop harping on that. Penn State over Northwestern. Jacksonville State also gets a victory over Sam Houston. Texas Tech up to number 7 now. They beat West Virginia. Then Florida takes care of Missouri to enter the top 25. That's another top 25 victory for us in our books now. Western Kentucky loses again. It looks like they have just lost all sort of care at this point. And the Navy beats South Florida in a close one. That's low scoring. Oregon did put up 51 on game day against Washington. UAB up to number 8 now. They beat Temple 32-20. Pittsburgh takes care of SMU. Old Dominion blasts Coastal Carolina. And then a couple of MAC games. We see Buffalo beat Ohio and UMass. Now the team to beat in the MAC conference. They beat Akron by a point. Arizona State beats Iowa State. The Cyclones have lost back-to-back games, ejecting themselves from Big 12 sort of conference talks. San Diego State over UNLV in a close one. We see Louisiana Monroe join the rankings this week, beating Vanderbilt. Ole Miss takes care of Texas A&M, who are now ranked number 11. Nebraska, for the big game against Iowa, beats Michigan. That's a huge loss and a huge win on both sides. Michigan State back in the top 25, beating Minnesota. San Jose State knocks off Texas State. Boston College wins a shootout against Virginia Tech. And then Arkansas beats Alabama by a point, 21-20. Mississippi State at home will beat Auburn, who are now 1-6 in SEC play. Ohio State survives a scare against Purdue. And then Colorado State destroys Washington State. And LSU beats Georgia. I did not expect this to happen, but the Tigers have thrown a huge wrench into our plans to potentially reach the SEC Championship game. Miami will beat Cal in the ACC, and then Florida State doubles up Arizona. Kansas State over Oklahoma State. Kentucky with another big win, beating the Sooners this week. Appalachian State then knocks off Marshall 31-24. Fresno State puts up 52 on Utah State. It's not been a good year in the American for Air Force. They lose another one, this time 21-11 to Rice. Liberty over Middle Tennessee State. Utah over UConn in the Big 12. Bowling Green trying to get back to be that Group of 5 representative. They beat Toledo this week 20-17, while also in the MAC, Central Michigan beats Western Michigan. And then UTSA takes Tulane's spot in the rankings by beating them in a Pac-12 battle. Here are your players of the week. We know it's Andy Everett on defense. On offense is Enrique Magid of Miami, Ohio with 5 catches, 179 yards, and 4 touchdowns. While your other SEC player of the week is Timmy Cockerham of Georgia. Here's a look at the top 25 now. We are ranked number 9, firmly in the talks for the college football playoff, but it is not done yet. There's still a lot that needs to go down, specifically with LSU beating Georgia this week. That puts a lot of scenarios on the table. But in terms of what the bracket looks like right now, we are still technically an at-large team, as Georgia's still the best team in the SEC. But you can see they have us at number 9 right now, playing Michigan in a first-round matchup. But there is still a lot to play for. You can see SEC actually not getting a first-round bye, according to this bracket right now. I find that very surprising, but it's definitely on the table. Your big games this week, it is rivalry week, so Ohio State, Michigan, 5 versus 6. Number 1, Oregon will go to number 17, Penn State, Happy Valley. Number 2, Stanford tries to go perfect against Wake Forest. And then the Heroes game, Iowa, Nebraska. But the biggest game for us is probably not even on this screen. LSU has now put themselves firmly in the conversation for the SEC Championship game. And you can see the look of the records. They have a win over Georgia, and Georgia beats us. So if LSU wins their next game, they take our spot in the SEC Championship game, and they are going to be going to Texas to face the Longhorns. So if LSU wins that, I think we're on the outside looking in according to tiebreakers. But we have a huge game of our own this week. We play the Clemson Tigers, our in-state rival. It has been a down year for Clemson, but at the beginning of the season, I thought this was a team that could challenge for the national championship. In our history against Clemson in this series, we are 1-6 against our in-state rivals. And this is a must-win game for the Gamecocks. There are so many things at play that you can't even afford to take a loss. Now, this game has nothing against the SEC race, but there's a lot at stake. If we win this game, I think we get into the playoff no matter what. Even if we go to Georgia and we lose in the SEC title game, if we get the invite, I still think we get in as an at-large team. If we win this game but LSU takes our spot, I still think we get in as an at-large team. But if we lose this game, it gets way more complicated, and our path to the playoff gets that much more convoluted. So I cannot tell you how much this means to the South Carolina Gamecocks. It all comes down to this. Against our in-state rivals, it is going to be a bloodbath underneath the lights at Williams-Brice. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you have, make sure you drop that like and subscribe down below, especially if you want more Dynasty Mode content. This is Mr. Rob, and I'll see you in the next one.